As Vice-Chancellor, I'm very proud of all the work the University of Northampton has been doing to fulfil our mission to transform lives and inspire change. And this is why we signed the Social Mobility Pledge and joined the Purpose Coalition, because we share its aim of improving social mobility and opportunity for all. The University of Northampton and higher education more generally is looking at how best to respond to the challenge of climate change. Now, while it's easier to make pledges here at Northampton, we've achieved some really impressive results. In fact, our carbon emissions are about 2,000 tonnes lower than they were when we first became a university in 2005. And our current annual output of about 5,000 tonnes is set to fall to net zero by 2030. That's 2 decades ahead of the official government target for the UK of net zero by 2050. So how will we do it? Well, the new Waterside campus here has helped in a number of ways. We've got low carbon materials, we've got better insulation, LED lighting and a smart campus building and management system. All those things help. Now, it's true that moving from our previous energy inefficient campus estate played a role, but changes in behaviour are important too. There's better procurement of energy that takes advantage of green business tariffs, investing in renewable energy generation via wind and solar panels all add up, as does this. The 1 megawatt biomass boiler behind me now generating 80% of our heat requirements here at Waterside. But it's not all just about carbon. Helping to maintain and improve biodiversity is also vital, and the campus here has been designed specifically with that aim in mind. We'll also work with partners in Northampton to support and learn from each other. Now, all of this means that we are ready to take a high-profile stance in the run-up to COP26, the United Nations Climate Change Conference in November here in the UK, and to work with staff, students and the wider community to deliver a coordinated response to tackling climate change. And to end, I want to show a short video highlighting 3 areas of future focus: the university's carbon usage, how we're inspiring the next generation as our students to reduce their carbon footprint, and how we are helping our partners in industry to reduce carbon in their operations.
I'm Victoria Blake, the Environment and Sustainability Manager here at the University of Northampton. Working with colleagues from across the university, it is my role to develop and deliver our sustainability plan, which covers a number of key themes, from energy management, sustainable travel and transport, waste and water management, enhancement of biodiversity, education and communication, and ethical supply chain and procurement. Now, I'd like to highlight our projects, initiatives and successes surrounding our carbon management plan. Now, in 2017, we produced our 2nd edition of our carbon management plan, where we set ourselves a stretching target to reduce our carbon emissions in Scope 1 and 2 by 30% by 2020 compared to those produced in 2005-2006. So in 2005 and 2006, we produced 7,703 tonnes of carbon. Now, this carbon was produced from our energy consumption, so this is electricity and water, and a small portion of that came from our fleet. Now, in 2020, so last year, we undertook a review of our carbon management plan and our carbon emissions. And I'm pleased to say that not only did we meet our 30% target, but we exceeded that by just under a 40% reduction. This reduction was a result of a number of projects and initiatives that we have put in place since 2017. Now, by far the greatest contributor to the reduction in our carbon emissions is our Waterside campus. We invested over £5 million in a 1 megawatt biomass boiler, which sits in our energy centre. Now, this produces 80% of the heat and hot water requirements across the campus, and it saves us over 650 tonnes of carbon year on year compared if we were using natural gas to power that boiler. The construction of Waterside itself has an impact on the reduction of our carbon or our carbon savings. This is from our building fabric, where we've used low embodied carbon materials, which we've sourced from local suppliers. We also have super efficient energy buildings. We have a building management system which we can utilise along with our other energy management software to understand our heating and lighting requirements across the building. Further carbon savings have been made during refurbishment projects such as those for the development hub and our student village, where we have ensured that we are using LED lighting. In February of this year, we announced our net zero carbon target in scope 1 and 2 emissions by 2030. We also signed up to the One Planet Pledge, which further enhances and demonstrates the commitment that the University of Northampton has to minimising its impacts and minimising its effects on climate change. So going forward, our net zero carbon by 2030 plan will consist of maximising the following opportunities. So generating our low carbon energy through a mix of on-site renewable energy solutions, such as the PV panels on residential roofing space that we have at Waterside campus, the potential of adding a combined heat and power unit into our energy centre, working with local heat providers or high energy consumers that have their own district heating network to see about the opportunities of linking those together and decarbonising the heat that's required for them. Looking at sustainable travel options within our fleet emissions, so this is moving from the current 50% of electric vehicles to 80% of electric vehicles in the next 12 months, and investigating other technologies such as battery storage and on-site anaerobic digestion plants, and also the potential for hydrogen fuel technology. Net zero carbon is an ambitious target and a long-term project, one that the University of Northampton tends to rise to that challenge and to meet over the coming years. Thank you.
The fashion industry contributes to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions, consuming more energy than aviation and the shipping industry combined. Ranked fourth in the UK and EU in terms of the environmental impact, just behind housing, transport and food. As the University of Change, dedicated to social innovation and committed to responding this crisis, we believe fashion should have a transformational impact on society and the environment globally. Through our curriculum redesign, we're equipping our students with the knowledge of the global climate that the fashion industry operates in and the skills to identify and propose solutions within it. We aim to provide our students with the opportunities to explore, to challenge and to question consumption and production methods, alongside a toolkit to investigate alternatives. Some examples of what that looks like in practice. Utilising waste from UK mills and factories, so short projects exploring ways in which waste can be repurposed towards new products. The impact encourages students to rethink production methods and material sourcing. Radka produced her final collection from reusing plastic bottles, getting wide acclaim nationally and internationally. Exploring the life cycle analysis of products. So GIDA experiments with AGA to produce biodegradable textiles, collaborating with biologists to incorporate fish food, so that at the end of the fabric's lifespan the environmental impact is positive. Amy explores fabrics made with kombucha culture of bacteria and yeast to produce garments that can decompose easily and are compostable, and she was published in the Permaculture Journal. Stira explores her Syrian heritage and regional colour through natural dyes. Exploring new methods of production so that students can understand the circular economy and can make informed choices about design, manufacture and production. So investigating new technologies and the possibilities that these could present towards finding solutions within the industry and supply chain, whether that's reducing waste by 3D scanning or digital prototyping, enabling the designers to visualise the garments in final fabrics, saving both time and reducing waste. Exploring ideas digitally rather than physically, giving unlimited creativity without using any materials at all, problem solving digitally before making the physical toile, and computer-generated imagery to showcase final collections, reducing the needs for physical garments and the full studio setup. Our mission within the subject area of fashion is to create innovators within the global fashion industry, developing diverse skills to create a sustainable impact for the future. After all, we are the University of Change.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Andrew Ballantyne. I'm a senior lecturer at the Institute for Creative Leather Technologies at the University of Northampton. Within our department, we do teaching and research into everything related to leather manufacture. It's easy to think of leather as the material that goes into making our shoes, or covering our sofas, or to make our wallets as examples of their use. But often we don't think about where the materials we use come from. So leather is a byproduct of the meat industry, which is then taken in a transformative process to make the leather that we know and use today. And as a complex manufacturing process, there's many ways in which that can impact the environment or can have a carbon footprint. And we incorporate a discussion of this into our teaching in many ways, and also ways in which it might be reduced as well. Within our degree course, we have two modules, Cleaner Leather Manufacture in the second year of the BSc, which is studying all the ways in which the leather production process itself impacts on the environment and generates carbon footprint. And we discuss ways in which we might minimize that, change the processing parameters, the way that we do the processing, in order to reduce the overall environmental footprint of the leather that we're producing. Then in third year, we have leather sustainability, which is looking at taking a broader, more holistic view at the way in which leather production and use impacts on the environment, incorporating the farming, the rearing of the animals, the proximity to the tanneries, so how far they're going to have the hides have to be transported in order to get to the tannery, as well as what happens when they've made the leather and they then go into their end uses and that end of life as well. So there's many different aspects in the way that the leather production can impact on the environment. And it's becoming only more important. In fact, we have a Innovate UK Knowledge Transfer Partnership starting in June, which is with Scottish Leather Group, one of the leaders in low carbon leather, where we're going to be trying to develop new processes to source materials for leather production from local sources in a sustainable way. And I'm looking forward to sharing the results with you in the future.